Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was born in 1998 in Toronto. He grew up in an athletic family. His mother was a track and field athlete, and from her he inherited his athleticism and strong physical build. From his father, he inherited a love for basketball. From a very young age, he spent a lot of time on the basketball court. While other kids were playing with their friends, Shai was almost never without a basketball in his hands. Unlike many future stars, nobody called him a super talent or a future superstar. He was just an ordinary kid who spent hours practicing his shot in the driveway. At the age of 14, he failed to make his school's basketball team. But that setback didn't break him. Instead, it gave him even more motivation and desire to work harder. He started training individually with coach Dwayne Washington. Under his guidance, Shai studied every aspect of the game. He worked on his basketball IQ and learned how players move both with and without the ball. You could say that he was learning basketball in all its details. His training also included watching game film. This helped shape his calm playing style, his ability to control the pace of the game, and his decision-making on the court. A huge part of his development also came from his cousin, Nickeil Alexander Walker. Since they were almost the same age, they constantly competed against each other. That competition pushed both of them to become better players. In search of a higher level of basketball and tougher competition, Shai and Nickeil transferred to Hamilton Heights Christian Academy. At the time, Nickeil was considered the more promising prospect, while Shai was mostly overlooked. One of the biggest weaknesses in his game was his inconsistent jump shot. However, through daily practice, hard work, and determination, he greatly improved his footwork, ball handling, and shooting mechanics. As time went on, he started putting up solid numbers and caught the attention of NCAA Division I programs. Eventually, he received an offer from the University of Kentucky, which was considered one of the strongest basketball programs in the country. This was Shai's introduction to college basketball. He wasn't viewed as a future NBA star, and many people didn't even believe he would make it to the league. Most saw him as an average college player, maybe a solid role player at best. Before the season began, he wasn't even part of the starting lineup and came off the bench. For the first 15 games, that remained the case. He entered games as a substitute and didn't put up eye-catching numbers. But that didn't stop him. He kept working hard and continued to improve. Eventually, his hard work started paying off. He began producing better numbers, earned a spot in the starting lineup, and gradually became one of the team's leaders. During the NCAA tournament, Shai emerged as Kentucky's key player and helped lead the team to the Sweet 16. Although Kentucky couldn't advance any further, that season became a major breakthrough for him. He significantly improved the consistency of his jump shot, shot efficiently, and proved that he could develop at the highest level. In just one season, Shai went from being an underrated player coming off the bench to one of the most promising guards of his generation and a legitimate NBA draft prospect. And then came an important moment, the NBA draft. Shai was selected with the 11th overall pick and soon found himself with the Los Angeles Clippers. Just like in college, he didn't become a superstar overnight. Everything happened gradually. At first, he came off the bench and step by step showed that he wasn't just another rookie, but a player already capable of performing at a high level. Even in his rookie season, he displayed mature basketball and strong efficiency. It was clear that he understood the game and knew how to make the right decisions on the court. Then came 2019, and a major trade took place. Paul George was traded to the Clippers, while Shai was sent to the Oklahoma City Thunder. At the time, many people viewed the trade only through the lens of the star players involved. But for Shai, it became an opportunity to take on a much bigger role within a team. During the 2019/20 season, he put up very respectable numbers. Shai became one of the team's best players and looked comfortable on the court. It was during that season that he recorded his first career triple-double and set several age-related records. More and more people began to realize that he wasn't just a promising young player, but a future franchise leader. As time went on and the Thunder entered a rebuilding phase, Shai truly became the face of the organization. In the 2020-21 season, he raised his scoring average to 23 points per game. For a player who had only recently entered the league, that was a very impressive achievement. Despite dealing with injuries, he continued to improve every year and steadily raised his level of play. Around him, the front office gradually assembled a young and extremely talented roster. That team helped Shai develop, while Shai, in turn, made everyone around him better. This young core included Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and several other promising players. Little by little, Oklahoma City was becoming one of the most exciting young teams in the NBA, and Shai was becoming its true leader and biggest star. From that point on, Shai only kept getting better, and the entire team helped him along the way. He made a huge leap and became one of the best players in the league. He averaged more than 31 points per game while playing with incredible efficiency. He was putting up unbelievable numbers for a player who had only recently entered the NBA. Many players spend years trying to reach that level, but Shai was already averaging over 31 points per game and looked like a true superstar. That season, he improved tremendously. He became one of the league's best players at attacking the rim and scoring from the mid-range. But what really separated him from many other players was his ability to draw fouls. He had an excellent feel for contact and consistently found ways to get to the free throw line. Because of his performances, Shai was selected to the NBA All-Star Game, earned a spot on the All-NBA First Team, and became one of the leading candidates for the MVP award. By this point, it was already the 2023-24 season. Shai continued to play at an elite level, and at the same time, the Thunder kept improving as a team. They had developed into a truly well-organized unit where everyone understood their role. As a result, Oklahoma City climbed to the top of the Western Conference. Shai played a massive role in that success. Once again, he averaged over 30 points per game and led the entire league in steals. He also finished second in MVP voting, proving once again how much he had grown as a player. His improvement was obvious to everyone, and it was because of that growth that the team started achieving serious success. Shai helped Oklahoma City win a playoff series for the first time since 2016. For such a young team, that was a huge step forward and a clear sign that they were moving in the right direction. Unfortunately, their talent, hard work, and determination still weren't enough to win a championship that season. Despite an outstanding year, the ultimate goal was still ahead of them. After a highly successful season, Shai officially established himself among the NBA elite. During the 2024-25 season, he put up truly outstanding numbers. He became the league's leading scorer, averaging more than 32 points per game, while also dishing out around 6 assists. Shai was the kind of player who could not only score himself, but also make his teammates better. He worked perfectly within the team system, created opportunities for others, and helped Oklahoma City function like a well-oiled machine. At the same time, one of his greatest strengths remained his ability to draw fouls and consistently score from the free throw line. Oklahoma City itself looked incredibly dominant that season. The team won 68 games in the regular season, one of the best records in the entire league. Because of that, the Thunder entered the playoffs with confidence and were considered one of the top championship contenders. In the playoffs, Shai maintained his elite level of play. He averaged around 30 points per game and continued to lead his team in the biggest moments of the season. In the end, all of this led to an NBA championship. The 2024-25 season became a truly historic one for Shai. He won the regular season MVP award, earned Finals MVP honors, and captured his first NBA championship ring. At that point, it was the best season of Shai's career. He proved that he was not just a superstar, but one of the best players in the world. It seemed like he had reached the top of the mountain. However, another season was waiting for him. And while it would still be a very strong year, it would not be quite as memorable or historic as his championship season. And then came the season following Oklahoma City's incredible breakthrough championship run in 2024/25. The media and the public expected this season to be just as successful, if not even better. The team had become stronger and more experienced. The players now had playoff experience and, most importantly, experience playing in the NBA Finals. Some people even believed that the Thunder could challenge the Golden State Warriors' record and win more than 73 games in the regular season. Unfortunately, things were not that simple. Even though the team continued to play at an incredibly high level, living up to those expectations was extremely difficult. They finished the regular season with 64 wins. While they did not break the record, it was still one of the best records in the league and enough to secure first place in their conference. Shai continued to perform at a phenomenal level. He averaged around 31 points per game and, as a result, won his second consecutive regular season MVP award. It was a major accomplishment and yet another reminder that he belonged among the very best players in the world. Then came the playoffs. Oklahoma City moved through the first two rounds quite comfortably, giving their opponents very few chances. It seemed as though the team was on its way to another championship run. However, the Western Conference Finals presented a serious challenge. There they faced a young and highly ambitious team. Despite being the defending champions and having the reigning MVP on their roster, the Thunder were defeated. For many people, it was a huge surprise. Few expected a team that had won the championship just a year earlier and kept its core intact to fall just one step short of the NBA Finals. In the end, Oklahoma City was unable to capture a second consecutive championship. Even so, the team once again proved that it remained one of the strongest teams in the league, while Shai continued to establish himself as one of the best players of his generation.